Hey, life is getting more and more boring. What's up? Los Angeles is so fucking boring. Why? What's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite albums. And today I'm going to be doing my second review of the day, and that would be an album review on the new Mountain Goats album, Bleed Out. So I've talked about Mountain Goats a couple of times on this channel already. American indie rock band Mountain Goats, fronted by John Darnell. And I've talked about this band a couple of times already. I talked about Goths, which is released in 2017, and it is awesome. It started off the album opener to Goths. It's just fantastic. It's just amazing. And the rest of the album is way more fun and lighthearted, but has so much personality. The songs are well written. It's catchy. The production is nice, and I like the lyrics. And a little bit a while ago. I think last year they released the album Dark in Here, which I thought was pretty good as well. Not as good as Goths, but still has a lot of solid tracks, a lot of highlights. And the Mountain Goats have released a new album. They have pretty much released a new album every single year since 2019. And they have also been making music since the early 90s, so it's been over 3 decades now, which is crazy. But anyways, of course, the Mountain Goats, given how experienced they are with songwriting, a lot of the things on this album they have already gotten right. The vocals and the delivery are very fresh and earnest, and in a way, it is charismatic. I also like the concepts that they always put in this album, and obviously, given the album title, Bleed Out, and given the album cover, this album plays out like an action movie, like a 90s, 80s action movie. And yeah, it is fun. We also have the concept of vengeance being sprinkled throughout the track list here, which is really interesting. But I'll say this. I don't think this is one of the best Mountain Goats album. In fact, I think it is one of the weaker albums I've heard from the band. So the first two tracks are actually pretty great. Training Montage is a really righteous sounding album opener. The guitars, the vocals, the drums are very solid. The hooks are kind of sticky. And I can pretty much say the same things for the second track, Mark on You, which is a catchy slow jam with a very, very sticky hook. And the production is very on point. It's crisp, it's clean, and it's nice. And then we have the third track, Wage Wars, Get Rich, Die Handsome. And this is where the album starts to get kind of tired, because essentially this is one of those feel-good tracks. You know, it sounds like one of those background music to a scene in an action movie where the main characters would drive down a highway or a speedway, and with a topless car and the wind sort of hitting their face. And that's funny because the lyrics are literally that. The chorus of this track literally is about driving a car super fast and living the fast life. And I like the concept, but really the song sounds like background music, and that's it. The next track, Extraction Point, has some nice horns mixed into it, but overall I think it doesn't have much in terms of structure. It's a little underwhelming. And First Blood and Make You Suffer both have kind of mean-spirited lyrics, but I do like how sweet and innocent sounding it is. But at the end, not very memorable. However, I do really like the track Guys on Every Corner. It is a standout track in my opinion, and mainly because of its groovy rhythms. The reverby vocals and guitars and the drums are just very groovy and nice. And also the hook of this track, and I will rise, 'cause I got guys on every corner. And I just really like that. That is followed with Hostages, which is a 7-minute long track, which seems to be the conceptual climax of the album. The lyrics are pretty interesting. You know, we may run out of bullets, but we may not run out of hostages. And it is essentially lyrically about a very critical moment during a heist or robbery of sorts, and it's pretty interesting. I wouldn't say instrumentally it is that great or anything, but lyrically and thematically it does play into the album quite nicely. Same goes for the next track, Need More Bandages, which is a very solid follow-up track with some moody guitar licks. The album ends off with the title track, which is the most spacey and uneventful track on the album. I guess thematically it makes sense because the protagonist of this album is shot and he's bleeding out and he's dying. And that makes a lot of sense, but musically I think it's just fine. Definitely not one of the more memorable tracks that the band could have made as the album ending, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's that strong of an album, and it could be better. I'm giving The Mountain Goats Bleed Out a strong 6 out of 10. So have you listened to the new The Mountain Goats album? From 1 to 10, I would just rate it, like it, and subscribe if you want more. And thanks for watching.